So maybe you guys can quickly share. So what strategies did you choose? What strategies do you want to try? So I think we have a bit of time to unmute and maybe quickly share.
I chose three, starting with physical movement and edit as you go. I love this idea. And lastly, dialogical feedback. It might work really well. But physical movement, I have some doubts about, high school students. But I might give it a try.
Okay, great.
And
Mhm.
it's also a good idea to get them talk about how they feel with each other. This would help them derive the judgment that they feel in similar ways.
So that's the one you want to try.
Definitely.
Okay. So anyone else? Francesca?
My mind's gone blank what I said. I should have written it down. I think all of them sound great, to be honest. But like relaxation techniques, even just for a minute, just to lower that anxiety sort of thing. But I love Teresa had a point about speaking in C2. You want to reiterate that? I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, we were talking about the whole translanguaging and how it can be really beneficial for students to do an activity in their own language. And I was saying that if it's something that we might assume we would do with lower levels, but actually getting students to do it at higher levels because they probably don't use a C2 level in their own language. Like, I rarely speak with a C2 level. I know, like my vocabulary is probably kind of B2. And so if somebody said to me, you're going to do a discussion activity and you have to use a C2 level of English, I would struggle to kind of do it naturally to start. So I think getting students in those higher level classes is using higher level language in their own language, using English as well.
Yeah, that's a really good point, because when I speak Russian, I often feel like my vocabulary is like a 10-year-old. Gosh.
I'm the same.
What am I saying?
Yeah. It's like if I teach a high level, I'm like, remember those words, yeah. I should use them sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. So there's basically, I don't think there is much left for me to say. Pretty much probably nothing. So I'll just briefly mention. So these are some references I used, so they're going to be useful for you. So I've written an article about dialogical feedback activity. So those of you who want to use it might find it useful just to see how it works, because there was a bit more than I mentioned in the session. Like the culmination was what I did. I took all of the problems they mentioned and I made a list of like top 10 problems. And then I put like 2 columns. Did you feel you had these problems at the beginning of the semester? Yes, no. And do you feel you still have those problems now? Yes, no. And basically it was really, some students were like, ooh, like they were shocked to see like how many yes became no. So it's a very like visual way for them to see how much progress they've made, and again feel encouraged and maybe less anxious about using English outside the classroom as well. That was basically the ultimate goal, was also to let them see how they progress. Yeah, thanks to Eugenia, who helped me with preparing this session. She was just listening to me rambling and help me organize my ideas into something cohesive. So many thanks to Eugenia. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to join us today, but hopefully next time. And if you have questions, you can contact me, and there is also a QR code which will lead you to all the materials for this session, including the slides, my article, some other articles. So for those who are interested in like maybe doing a bit more reading, on the topic. And in the remaining time, so feel free to scan the QR code. If you have some problems, just let me know and I'll send you all the materials. So, and in the remaining time, I thought we could do some reflection, because I'm a great fan of reflective practice and reflecting on things. So I will send you a link to the last Padlet, if I manage to find the chat. Okay, here it is. So this is it. So as you will see there are three things you can reflect on. So first one is thing you learned about foreign language anxiety. Second is one strategy you learned and will apply. So you chose three before, but now you have to choose the ultimate favorite. Okay. And a question you're left with about foreign language anxiety, if any. And if we have time, I'll try to address them spot on. If we don't have time, I'll do it in writing, maybe on my Twitter, or I'll just send you a direct message or something. So whichever you prefer. So take some time to post your thoughts. Oh, it's nice to see you enjoyed recalling and remembering your own anxiety episodes. Because, I actually just started learning Italian because I thought the last time I started learning a language from scratch was a long time ago. And I started forgetting how it feels to be like a total zero in something. And every lesson I discover something new. And I guess, gosh, now I know how my students feel. And I must say, like, there are times when I feel anxious. Like, I've only taken 6 lessons, so no one expects me to speak Italian, but like sometimes I don't understand the verb endings, and I'm like, why? Like, why can't I never get it right? And then I feel like, it's hopeless. Well, I will never learn the language. And then I say, okay, that's not a positive idea, definitely. And yeah, so it's always a good experience to like put yourself in the learner's shoes. Definitely. Okay. Yeah, different types of anxiety. Yeah. And yeah, anxiety can be positive, and we don't have to get rid of it completely. We have to, in a way, embrace it and see how it can benefit us instead of limiting us. Okay, strategies. I can maybe actually just share this one for maybe those who are watching us live. Yeah, so more brain breaks for adults. Yeah, it's so true. Like because we know children cannot focus for too much. Yeah, they have short attention span. We all know that. But I mean, yes, adults can focus for 2 hours, but it doesn't mean they don't feel tired. We've been here for almost 2 hours, and I'm pretty sure everyone needs a break to just process things. So same goes for our classes. And I'm sorry, guys, we didn't have a break. Yeah, sorry about that, but we're almost there. Just a couple more minutes. Get students to more explicitly talk about their FLA. Yeah, acknowledging it, not denying it. Yeah, saying I feel anxious and it's normal. Yeah, so what can I do to focus on the positive side? Okay, share our fears. Yeah, definitely. It's basically the same with the depression. When you feel depressed, you feel like you're the only one and the whole world is the enemy. But once you learn there are so many people in the same situation, I mean, I can't say it makes you feel good, obviously, but at least it makes you feel like maybe there is nothing wrong with you. So it's important to know that you belong in a way to a certain group of people. Yeah, to know that it's not only you who's struggling. It makes you feel a bit more better about things. Mm-hmm. Yeah, very good. So any questions? Let me have a look. Yeah, about measuring, it's a good question. I mentioned it privately, but yeah, there is a test to measure anxiety that was developed, if I'm not mistaken, in the 1980s, but I might be wrong. What I would say is that basically it's really difficult to measure an emotion. And especially emotions, as we know, anxiety is like a whole mixture of emotions. There are so many factors contributing to this that, to be honest, I don't think there is like a really 100% reliable way to measure it. And as I said, like conducting a special developed test or just asking people, do you think you feel less anxious, may be equally reliable in a way. But that's at least it was tried and tested, and I think it proved to be more or less useful. But I believe that it is impossible to get 100% reliable data just because emotions are too difficult to measure. It's something, there are too many variables, like every second how we feel changes depending on what's going on in the classroom. It's unpredictable. And yeah, there is, I would say, no way like to really measure it. But the test definitely can help to, what the test can help with is to see that if there are high levels of anxiety like for some students, and then knowing that, yes, you have students who have high levels of anxiety, it's going to help you to shape your, shape whatever is going on in the classroom in a certain way. Yeah, so it will at least help you understand what your students are feeling. So I would say, basically maybe when you start with a new group, maybe giving this kind of a test, like maybe a shorter one, is definitely good. So just for you to know, and maybe for students also to start thinking about it as well. So you can, and then you can build on it and like maybe, implement some short conversations about feelings, emotions, and so on. So I would say tests are good, but yeah, obviously not 100% reliable. Okay, so some other question. FLA in culture, yeah, stereotyping, overgeneralizing. Yeah, it could happen because my experience proves that, yeah, everyone says Japanese people are more anxious, and it is true, but as time goes, they become as willing to speak as any other people. Yeah, it's all about just feeling confident, feeling positive about what's going on. So as long as you support your students, doesn't matter where they come from, definitely they will respond positively to you supporting them and helping them. But when I start new groups, what I could say is that definitely, for example, when you start a new group in Japan, it is a bit more difficult because they are a bit quieter, and it does take them a bit longer to get used to you than maybe when you start a new Russian group. Like, people in Russia basically know, like, if you tell them to speak, they do try to speak. So I would say there is some cultural component, but our culture does not define if we can be a successful English learner. Definitely. Yeah, it's all about support, encouragement, and that's the same for everyone. That's what I think. And the last one was, I think, confidence coaching. Help. I think it could be really helpful. I mean, confidence coaching never harms, definitely. And knowing how to encourage yourself, yeah, like affirmations, power poses could be useful. Obviously, depends on like how students respond to this, because some people are a bit skeptical about this, maybe. So you have to be careful with that. But I personally think that it could definitely help. This kind of coaching, and especially maybe even if done in English, could be kind of kill two birds with one stone. Yeah, in Russian it's hares, not birds. So yeah, it could not only help students to learn something new using English as a tool, but also to help them not as learners but as people. Because there are many situations when self-confidence helps, not only communicating in English. Yeah, there are so many situations. So I think this kind of coaching can be really good. So whoever is working on this project, I'll be really interested in learning more about this once there are some like results and data available. That would be, I think, really cool. Definitely looking forward to. So whoever is working on this can come forward and confess.
Francesca was waving her hand there before.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I only have like 4 people.
So send it our way if it's appropriate, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. I'm really looking forward to.
We'll see how it goes. Yeah.
That's a really cool idea, I think, and useful for everyone. Yeah. So I think that's it.
Yeah.
And we're done for today. And of course, thank you everyone very much for staying for those 2 hours.
Yeah,
and
thank you so much, Lina. It's been a really great I can't believe it's 2 hours. It's really I was kind of looking at the clock and I was really shocked by
for me it felt like
so no, that's wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving your time. So have a it's very awkward to give a little fake round of applause on Zoom, but I'll do it anyway. So
thank you, Lina. Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys.
And if you send me the slides, I can probably send out an email afterwards with kind of a link to the link to the session and the slides and everything all in one go. Because that's probably easier.
Yeah.
So,
and if there are I know that some people have been watching live, so if there are any more questions posted by those people,
I saw someone. So people were, but I think there are a few things. Every time we went to a breakout room, I'm not sure how the live turned off, and then when it turned on again, I think it was making a new stream. So I didn't see. I had people asking, "Oh, are you going to come back soon?" But I didn't see any not proper questions. You know what I mean?
Just let me know if
answer.
If something pops up. Yeah.
Just kind of asking.
I mean, the main thing that the input was broadcasted, so. That's probably the most important. But yeah, thank you very much, everyone. That was a lovely experience. I enjoyed it. So yeah.
Thank you so much. And so I guess we'll be back on the 24th. The fourth Wednesday of the month. So so our next session will be what's going on with you session. And I think we're like 90% confirmed, so we'll send out an email about that in a week or so. So that's fine. So looking forward to seeing you then. Thank you so much to Lina again, and thanks to everyone for coming. And
my pleasure.
Some of your Valentine's Day with us.
True.
Yes, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah. Bye-bye. Nice evening. Have a nice evening, everyone.
Bye.